One of the high school students suspected of shooting their classmates in Colorado goes before a judge.
A look at what happened in court kicks off tonight's 90-second nightcap.
One of the accused school shooters kept his head down for the majority of his court appearance. 18-year-old Devin Erickson nodded repeatedly, speaking only when the judge requested a verbal response. Police say Erickson and a second suspect opened fire on fellow students at the STEM school Tuesday with at least 2 handguns. 18-year-old Kendrick Castillo died and 8 others were wounded.
House Judiciary Committee members voted along party lines Wednesday to hold Attorney General William Barr in contempt of Congress. Today's hearing comes after negotiations broke down over the release of the full Mueller report and underlying materials.
The contempt resolution could now go to the full House for a vote and potentially set up a lengthy legal battle over the documents.
Uber and Lyft drivers protested outside the company's New York City headquarters Wednesday afternoon, calling for higher wages and better benefits. Earlier, during the morning commute, some drivers turned off their apps and made their way in a caravan across the Brooklyn Bridge. Drivers also staged protests in other cities, including Boston and Philadelphia.
Prince Harry and his wife Meghan couldn't take their eyes off their newborn son as they introduced Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor to the world.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Only 2 days old, Archie undertook his first rite of passage at Windsor Castle, the royal photo op with the press. He also met his great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, and her husband. Meghan's proud mother was also at her side.